police manhunt is underway to catch a man who threw a hot liquid on a baby in a public park. Live to Georgie Chumley now, who's in Stones Corner. Georgie, this was a shocking attack.
Good morning, Nat. Exactly. It is hard to find the words for something like this. An absolutely sickening attack from a random person. We're here at Hanlon Park in Stones Corner, where the attack took place around midday yesterday. A mum and her little 9-month-old bub were just enjoying the park, enjoying the day, when a man came up to them and threw scalding hot coffee on that 9-month-old baby. Now, they called emergency services immediately. They raced here. Understandably, the mum was incredibly distressed, and that little boy has burns to his face, chest and arms. He was raced to the Queensland Children's Hospital with those injuries, and now this morning police are looking for the man responsible. And they're asking anyone who was in the area at the time to come forward if they saw anything suspicious or if they might have captured anything on their phones, Nat.
Gee, it's just unbelievable, isn't it, Georgie? Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Here's Shervo.
Thanks, Nat. Carlton coach Michael Voss is being praised for his bravery this morning after taking down a teenage boy who ran from an allegedly stolen Mercedes. Live to Andrew McCormack in Melbourne. Macca, charges have been laid overnight.
That's right, Trev. I've spoken with police this morning. They have charged one teenager and another one remains on the run. A 16-year-old boy has been charged with theft of a motor vehicle and possessing a controlled weapon. This story is just absolutely wild. Michael Voss, Carlton coach and Brownlow medalist, was getting his morning coffee yesterday in Hawthorn mid-morning when a car flipped on its side. That Mercedes allegedly stolen. Two teens were inside. They then fled the scene. Voss chased after both of them with the cafe owner in Hawthorn. One jumped over a fence and escaped. The other one, Voss tackled to the ground and held down until police arrived to make the arrest. Here's the cafe owner describing just how it happened.
Vossy's still pretty quick.
Vossy's very fit, very quick. I think he's got a very quick sort of 20-30 metre dash. We had to scale a couple of fences and jump over some bins, and it was pretty hectic.
So Vossy, well, they've had some injury worries here, Shervo, throughout the year. They've had about 27 players to pick from just at some stages. So Vossy, if he still needs to pull on the boots, who knows, maybe he could be the sub and come on in the last quarter. But just an extraordinary yarn. That teenager charged will face children's court at a later date. Shervo?
Yeah, we're going to have that cafe owner, James Lasky, on as well a little bit later. Apparently they had to scale fences to track down the boys, and then once they did, one took off, was too fast, and then Vossy chasing him down. Premiership winning player chasing you, you'd be fearful, wouldn't you? Thanks, Macca.
Is this not the most Melbourne story of all time?
So good. Good on you, Vossy. Well done.
It was such an AFL story too. More on that later. Let's get more news. Here's Mon.
Thanks, Nat. Good morning. To breaking news from the US. 2 people have been killed after a passenger jet's tyre exploded at Atlanta Airport. The incident happened in a maintenance area while the tyre of the Boeing 757 was being changed. A Delta Airlines employee and a contractor died at the scene. A third person has suffered serious injuries. The incident comes just months after another Delta Boeing passenger jet lost its nose wheel while attempting to take off from the same airport. A top private school in Adelaide is embroiled in crisis after student footballers made a misogynistic and racist system of fines. Let's go live to Hayden Nelson in Adelaide. Now, Hayden, this was a spreadsheet, apparently, which was circulated right amongst students.
Yeah, Mon, that's certainly the allegation in newspaper reporting this morning that at the state's most expensive school, some female students are too distraught to get back in the classroom after it was revealed the football team had allegedly created this spreadsheet of fines that was being circulated around the school. Among those fines, they're for kissing a whale, for sloppy seconds, for having a crazy girlfriend, or for being overweight. So definitely some misogynistic terms there. The school is understood to have held an assembly on Friday to address these issues, but at this stage it's not known whether any actual discipline has been taken over the spreadsheet. The principal says they're dealing with this sensitively and educatively, but says this is a reflection of broader issues in society. Misogyny, obviously a massive issue for young men at schools at the moment. Mon?
Yeah, Hayden, all right, thanks very much. 13 people have been rescued on the Gold Coast after they became stuck on a Vortex ride at SeaWorld 15 metres in the air. Let's go live to Tamara Bowe on the Gold Coast. Now, Tamara, they were trapped for almost 2 hours. What happened?
Oh, Mon, it's got to be every ride goer's absolute worst nightmare to be trapped so high up for such a long amount of time. And that happened here at SeaWorld yesterday when the Vortex ride malfunctioned, trapping those 13 people on board for almost 90 minutes. Quick-thinking SeaWorld staff grabbed a cherry picker. They used that to hand out bottles of water and umbrella for shade from the heat. And eventually the fire department arrived. Scaffolding was erected and that ride slowly lowered to the ground. All 13 people on board were rescued without any major injuries. One complaining of back pain, the other treated for symptoms of heat stroke as well. But SeaWorld says that a sensor communication fault is to blame. Mon, all this just days after another ride malfunctioned here at SeaWorld, trapping 20 people on board for 1 hour last week.
All right, Tamara, thank you. Wild weather has hit Melbourne overnight with damaging winds bringing down trees across the city. Let's go live to Sunrise correspondent Tegan Doling. Now, Tegan, the blustery conditions are because of an extreme cold front.
Yeah, absolutely, Mon. There's been a severe weather warning out all night for most parts of Melbourne. The SES have been kept very, very busy. They've actually worked really, really well to just cut up this tree behind us. We're up in Otway, so up near Fern Tree Gully on the eastern side of Melbourne. That looks like to be the area that has been the most hit overnight. There's been 395 calls to the SES, mostly for trees down. But when I spoke to them a little bit earlier, they say there was also 66 calls for help because of trees onto buildings. We had one woman down in Chelsea Heights. It was a very lucky escape for her. She actually had a tree fall very, very close to her home, and she recounted the moment to us that she heard a huge crash. At the moment, though, not too bad out here. What I can expect, Mon, in the next couple of hours as everyone starts to wake, we'll start to see a bit more damage start to pull through with trees down across roads. If you're heading out onto the roads, just take care when you head off this morning.
Yeah, all right. Keep us up to date, won't you? Thanks very much, Tegan. The number of international students studying in Australia will soon be cut by nearly 20,000. The decision follows a record number of enrolments this year. Education Minister Jason Clare yesterday announced that the government would cap foreign student commencements at 270,000 for next year. Mr Clare said that the changes, if passed by Parliament, would make the international student sector better and fairer. Brisbane's new electric metro service could soon see a major expansion, running all of the way to the airport and deep into the suburbs. The new proposal has the City Council, State Government and the Council of Mayors all on board. It's been reported that they'll lobby the federal government to fast-track a business case for the expansion. The new lines would extend to Capalaba, Springwood and Castledine and beyond in time for the 2032 Olympics. A Sydney restaurant may be forced to close after being ordered to remove an outdoor barbecue smoker following complaints from neighbours. Let's go live to Liam Tapper, who's in Hornsby. Now, Liam, I understand that the smoke shack's entire business is built around barbecuing. What are they going to do?
Oh, I tell you what, Mon, this has certainly left a sour taste in the owner of the Smoke Shack's mouth here in northern Sydney. It tells you the taste of Texas, but it's what the residents here are really tasting. It's not anything that's nice on the menu. If you have a look in here, it's all to do with this outdoor smoker that the owners have put in here. It cooks delicious meats, briskets, even mac and cheese, all done in there on that exquisite piece of culinary excellence. And now 5 residents, that's all, just 5 neighbours have written to Hornsby Council, and they said that this is an environmental concern and there's too much noise. So they want this cut down. They want it taken out of their neighbourhood. But the owner, he says that there's more than 300 people have signed a petition to keep it here and keep it going, because you can imagine just how delicious that meat is and how delicious all of the food that's being cooked here. Hang on. Well, I'm actually getting quite hungry just talking about it. Yes. But as you can imagine, this would send his business bankrupt, he said, if the owner said that if they do get rid of this outdoor smoker, which costs more than $10,000, it's going to make the restaurant completely null and void, Mon, and that's the last thing that many of these loyal customers want for these guys here in North Sydney.
Yeah, and local people that work there as well. Mac and cheese, did you say, in a smoker? Oh, sounds good.
Do anything in a
smoker. All right, Liam.
Delicious.
Thank you. Keep on the case for us.
So Liam, when it opens up, he's going to bring us in some brisket. Yeah. Apparently.
Is he? Yeah. On his bike?
Oh, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's there. He's ready.
I think that's probably the first that he's heard of that. Yeah.
Hang on, he's going to... Oh, there you go. There's the brisket.
Now, 5 complaints. I bet these people all live in the same house. They're just whingers.
Do you think they...
I'm calling it.
Do you think they enjoy a bit of smoked meat?
I don't even care. Don't. If you're in the area, tell us what it smells like. Oh, it's delicious.
Smells good. Yeah. Katie has sport.
Good morning, everyone. Pickett will now have a delayed start to the 2025 AFL season. The Melbourne star failed to overturn his 3-match ban for a high bump on Collingwood captain Darcy Moore at the tribunal last night. Carlton's Matthew Owies will miss their elimination final against Brisbane after his one-game dangerous tackle ban was upheld. Geelong champion Tom Hawkins is racing the clock to be fit for their qualifying final against Port Adelaide next Thursday night.
Tommy's doing everything behind the scenes every single day, every single minute to make sure that he gives himself the best possible chance. So, yeah, it's a credit to him.
West Coast defender Tom Barrass has requested a trade to Hawthorn. Well, Latrell Mitchell claims he wants to be a better man, apologising to his club and fans after that white substance photo scandal. The injured fullback faced the Rabbitohs board yesterday, which is deciding how he should be punished.
What was going on in that photo? Can you tell us?
To be honest, I don't really know.
Did the board have anything to say today?
Yeah, I don't remember.
The NRL is deliberating over when to sanction him with a fine and a one-game suspension. Tanasis Kokkinakis has pulled off the biggest win of his Grand Slam career, beating 11th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in 4 sets at the US Open. Tsitsipas struggled with a rib injury as Kokkinakis blasted him off the court, reaching Thompson and qualifier Tristan Skulkate, who also won their opening rounds. It's no surprise Mary Fowler has taken the Matildas' disappointing Olympics with maturity well beyond her 21 years. Fowler starts the new season with Man City's pre-season clash with Leicester City in Perth tonight.
I definitely reflected on how I was mentally. I think, it was a different kind of pressure that I've dealt with before. It was just a nice reminder for me that, you're not going to always have really big highs in football.
Mary says she hasn't even thought of who should replace sacked Matildas coach Tony Gustafsson. Supercars, Brody Kostecki's exit from Erebus Motorsport has almost been locked in. The reigning Supercars champion is set to sign with Dick Johnson Racing from 2025 in the coming days, ending a tumultuous 12 months at Erebus. But Kostecki sat out the opening 2 rounds of the season after his relationship with the team deteriorated following his title win. He'll fill Anton De Pasquale's seat after it was announced he'll join Team 18 next year, replacing 2015 champion Mark Winterbottom after he was suddenly axed.